Hey everybody, this is Fran Fraschella, draft expert and basketball junkie. To everybody who's watching, let's get our friends at General Manager Games the subscribers they deserve. Just press that red subscriber button and immerse yourself in sports AI through GM Games content. And on Twitter, it's GM_games. Let's get after it. Let's go.
Hey, it's Chris from GM Games, and GM Games being General Manager Games, sim management, sports management games. And so we do this usually every season, definitely for Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 25. And so what I'm going to do is show a little bit about the game. I'm actually involved in part of the game of building out the mod for the pro player pack, the graphics for real players. So you'll see that in the game. It doesn't come with it. It's not licensed by the NBA. So there's an important mod that we get as a community to be able to have the game look like this. Okay, so basically what you're looking at now, I set up the Raptors beforehand. You can set them up with sandbox mode, which lets you take over any teams. You can then also do quick start, or there's a multiplayer if you want to run a league for this thing. So there's a whole bunch of different options. But what I want to talk about is what's new in the game and some of the things that are new right away. You got in-game media guides, but let me just show you a little bit about how it looks in the interface. So you got the horizontal navigation going on here. They kind of moved some things around earlier last year from right to left. So you're looking at the team now. The dashboard's changed a bit. You can see all the players on the team at a glance like this, which again shows you we have added all the players. Like, you know, you got Grady Dick there. You got different coaches as well, for example, just like the staff. So you got, you know, guys like that's me, obviously, as the GM, but you got Darko as the head coach of the Raps, and all throughout the association. So for all the G League and pro teams. So let's keep in mind we got new media guides. What is that all about? So I'm assuming when we go to look at that stuff, there's some sort of media section or whatever. But we're at the D League assignment part, excuse me. And let's talk about some of the features as they go through and advance the game. So you got new trading options, all right? So there's a bit more of like two-way contracts that have been advanced a bit, things of that nature. So that is something that's definitely cool. Let's see if this league news now has maybe some of the magazine stuff. We're not advanced enough to be able to see some of the headlines. We got a magazine section here. So right away, what are we looking at? Let's look at the fantasy guide. You kind of can see immediately who are the top 50 players usually in the association. Top 50 right now, you're looking at Joker, you got Embiid, you got Shy, of course, SGA, you got Luca, and it's just showing you who are the top 5. So what does it look like to go into a player like Nikola? Look at that, just padding the stats. You got OVR stats now. I put the game on the 0 to 100 rating system, but there is a 0 to 10 people like, and now it can get a bit of a potential and OVR rating based on crunching that formula and badges and whatnot. So that's all pretty fun, pretty cool. So let's just keep moving along as well. We don't want the draft class to be anything we're importing, so we're doing the default. You can create these draft classes. Takes a bit of work. You got to go to the community, find out if you want to try to set it up for some of the stars. Maybe you want to get Cooper Flag in there from Duke. That's the kind of thing that is not necessarily in the game right away from the college game to be imported, but that's the kind of thing that goes on. So let's talk about, while we're loading and processing here, what else is new. That detail on the players is there. Obviously, you got that NBA 2K kind of OVR rating going on. We have new salary rules have been implemented. Basically, salary aprons dictate the teams, how they operate, limits certain actions for the teams. So there's more AI logic going on with that. You also end up finding that there's new trade features allow you to protect picks, as well as putting swap conditions on picks and trade up to 5 years of picks. So you got AI upgrades as well, providing more information with new functionalities like breaking news, like cutscenes that happen throughout the game, which are actually pretty new, pretty cool. And you got this ticker that runs along the bottom. So right now we're just kind of processing through that D League draft. And as we go on, that just finished. I'm running a few things on my VMware Windows. It's a Mac that's playing this, so keep that in mind. All right, so we're there. We're up to, let's look at our inbox. What kind of news came in for the Raps GM here? Assigning players of the D League draft. We got the season coming here, so that G League draft happened. And it's still saying D League here. I called it the G League, but anyways, let's see if we can get into one of the games, but or even the trade modes to have a look. So what does it look like to watch the Clippers and the Mavs go at it? Let's just kind of get into one of those games and quit right away. You can kind of get a sense of the 2D mode. All right, so here's some players. There's a Gamecast there. That looks a little new. Look at this. This is the starting five. You got with the pack, beautiful with the shoulders, the wide shoulder look, not some sort of small portrait, cropped off head. You get a really nice look with that transparent PNG stuff going on throughout the game now. So that is all the 25 pack. This is the look of the 2D mode. So if you want to do some coaching and watch your players go at it, that's kind of what you're looking at. So you got all the courts in the mod, really good mod to get. And right now we got Clay on the Mavs, so that's pretty cool. And then Kawhi, who's injured in IRL most of the time, is available to play. So I'm not gonna, right now there's a stoppage in play that's going on as a setting, but if I say pause it, all stops off, return to the game, and you can get a sense of running the offense and things going on there. If you have coach mode on, you can change all those settings on that point. But this is what it's like to watch game by game, and you can speed up the go to faster so you can move along. So with that in mind, let's not worry about this too much. Let's go back into the game itself. What's new in 25? Let's take a look at that trade screen. They're saying there's new trading options, so maybe that has to do with the picks. But I do want to see what that Gamecast is before we wrap up that video, because it's listed out here as one of the main new features of the new version. So we definitely want to take a look at that. We're going to quit. I pressed return, so apologies on that. We're going to get out of this one. We're going to head back. We're not going to play this. We're going to untick that before we move to the next set of games. But actually, you know what? While we're on it, okay, first up, trade screen. Then we're going to look at a Gamecast, and we're going to move it along. So what happens if you want to make some moves? Here's trade players. We're looking at the Raps. So we've got Agbaji, who's development type player out of Kansas. What's going to happen? You want to make a move. You want to see some swaps. All right, what can we do? Maybe we'll make a move with the Hornets. Is there anything good? It's working out here. Do they want to? Maybe we can move quick. He's on his new deal, 32 mil over, 5 years there. That with LaMelo, what happens? So with quick, we're going to add him to the side. We'll add LaMelo to the side. We'll see what's starting to say. And you can see a bit of the polarity changing in terms of advantage right now. They actually think the Raps a little bit. No. Well, I would be at advantage, obviously, to get LaMelo. So it's saying that the Hornets are not just going to give him away on some sort of one-to-one deal like that. But this is where I guess you're looking at something to do with, I don't know, there's more complexity here. So the trade help, you can learn all about what you can do. Sign in trades. I guess I'll hold that just so you can read it. Get an offer, pick conditions. There you go. Trade block. That's what that is. So if you want to get offers in your inbox, then they might come around. You got picks. Are they protected? 5 protected. This is really cool stuff because you saw what happened with the Spurs and Raps deal. That ended up becoming, for the Podol trade, a pretty early pick that I think ended up being Stephen Castle or someone out of UConn. So Raps lost out on that dude. So don't want to watch these teams in a Gamecast, but let's keep it moving. Here's a bit what it looks like as you sim through to the next days. This looks really starting to really come together for sim games, especially since they really are a lot of the times just glorified spreadsheets. So that's really nice to see this progression coming through. And then when we get some new teams that just weren't the 2D we're playing around with, it's definitely going to be interesting just to see what happens. You can see there's transactions going on at the bottom. You see the Celtics picking up Jay Crowder. So the AI is starting to make some decisions. You got Jock Landale, the Aussie, going down to Texas or the Rio Grande G League team. And so we're rolling over days here. And I do apologize because I'm doing a lot of multitasking But let's just get to one other game and check a Gamecast. So how about one of our own? Does it show it? Yeah, there it is. All right, Raps Nuts. Let's take a look. There's daily draft here. So if you want to have some fun again, just doing like FanDuel, that's pretty much, you know, what it looks like. So you can think who's going to be the best player on certain nights and just have a little bit of a side banger type game that you want to do. So I think this is going to come up to our game after all the other games go through. Okay, so there, what happens when we Gamecast with the human team? All right, there we're looking at it. Here's the starting lineup. You got your boy Scotty, you got RJ who's developing, you got the Nets who've surprisingly at this point in the video have done pretty well in the season with Schroeder and everyone else. So let's go to the tip and see what a Gamecast is like. All right, this has got some real championship manager CMO1 feel to it. Interesting. So it's kind of a deconstruction of the a bit more of the slanted other player views. So we're looking at if someone just doesn't want to get into a lot of the noise, and depending on what you do here for settings, speed it up a bit. You're getting this real championship manager feel right here with the middle, with the colors changing between the teams about what's going on. You're getting CMO1, one of the most beautiful sim games ever made, as an approach to watching the game and how it goes down. So it's definitely just a purified version of a lot less noise and maybe not having to see your player faces on blockheads going around if it's not, you know, animation and things of that nature, but you're seeing where they are pretty straightforward with the colors and stand out quite well about warning your plays. So that's cool. I'm going to stop that. I'm going to come out of that and let's just talk about what's some of the last things with the Gamecast view. Gameplay, the engine has changed. The results are more realistic. I'm reading up draft classes, and then the ability to link things. So that's probably where I'm going to at least wrap this video off, because going through in the future live without edits and cuts is just going to be a little bit too boring in terms of watching this on like a nice YouTube TV somewhere and getting a sense and feel of this game. But what there is, and we do this in our association, which is a college one called CBGM, College Basketball General Manager, that we use the college basketball game. And then we have an observation league that we link up our pro game just to see how our rookies do from college and the pros, and nobody manages the teams. Because when you manage a little bit of multiplayer NBA, you got a lot more transactions to do and you have trade talk going on. It's a lot of work rounding people up. Whereas in the college league, highly recommend checking that out with us at GM Games. You get that sense of, you know, you don't have to interact as much, but you just have some key dates and it's very kind of passive interaction, and you're getting a lot of a fun time at a league that's been going on for, you know, 18 some odd seasons now. So anyways, that's the gist of it. Maybe let's take a look, maybe just a couple flyby around the league to see how certain teams look like. You know, people interested in the Knicks. Well, let's take a look at a little bit of the Knicks roster. Precious, OG, Mikal Bridges, so OG now from that Raps deal. His D89 clamped down. You can see the D badge there. And then let's just take a look at some of these other sections so you can get a sense of what the game's like. You got the roster screen. So you got their OBR and potentials. You got their ratings. There's a bit more of the bios, your affiliates. You can get their stats. You get like a holistic view table of the contracts going on over just like Cap Friendly and other websites from back in the day. Hoops Hype, I think maybe things do stuff like that. So you can take a look at that breakdown. And this is the real deal stuff. So Karl Anthony Towns, this is his historic stuff. So this has been done. That comes with the game, okay? So those names and those kind of historic attributes, that's all legit. Second team All NBA. Jalen Brunson on the come up. You can see his scoring is good. It's been rated quite well. I think everyone's going to really enjoy the way the ratings have been done. But yeah, that's it from us at GM Games. Just want to give you a showing of DDS PB25. And I would really recommend you check it out. And and try to get a copy whenever you can. You'll probably really enjoy it if you're a fan of Football Manager and you want something for basketball. All right, I'm really enjoying it myself so far, so give it a go. Thanks so much.